Here, the device waits for the user to authenticate using their PIV card. However, because the smart card was not inserted, the login process fails. When the user inserts the correct smart card, the login is successfully completed and the device logs into the desktop using single sign-on, ready for the user to start using their online applications. In this case, the user will log into Microsoft 365. The endpoint informs the MagicEndpoint IDP of this action, and since MagicEndpoint knows the validity of the user and device through continuous verification, it can simply approve the user access to the service provider. This is considered no user action. Now, let's see what goes on under the covers when the user gets no user action access to an online service. It is actually quite a lot. Many systems allow the user to connect from any endpoint by, for example, just accepting a push prompt on their phone. The problem here is twofold. A, the endpoint device could be any device, not just the one used by the legitimate user. Or B, there is no association between the legitimate endpoint and the user's phone. Accepting the push request on the phone could actually be giving access to an attacker half a world away. We solve this problem by having a clear association between the legitimate user and device. With this association established, MagicEndpoint can actively verify the user's intention to access the specific service from the specific device. This is protected with FIDO public key cryptography. Together, this provides phishing-resistant authentication with no user action. To demonstrate the support for multiple users using the same device, the next user will log into Windows using an incorrect smart card. An error appears. When using the right token, in this case the YubiKey, the user will be able to log into Windows and into the desktop. And now, since the user is logged into this device, a new user and device identity is created. This makes sure that only the authorized user logged into their device can access their online application, in this case, Microsoft 365. We just demonstrated that users only need to authenticate to their endpoint, and the endpoint with MagicEndpoint Center will authenticate to everything else for the user.